And if I change my insights like she has done, and I hold still like when she held on and she went through that pain and she made it through every day, what she found was that she fell deeply in love with herself. And when you get to that place to where you're at a sense of wholeness and completeness, guess what? You meet other people who are at a sense of completeness and wholeness.
So true.
So now I'm going to ask you the good question. How did you meet your husband, and how did that go?
I met my husband in a very non-traditional way. It was I wasn't looking to be in a relationship. I was actually, for the first time in my life, I was in an incredible relationship with myself.
Awesome.
And I had begun to really realize that I didn't need anybody in my life to be able to be okay. I came to realize that only babies need to be held and comforted, and that comforting could come from myself. And I was feeling very good about the things in my life, and I had been through the therapy process, and I was kind of paying it forward by helping other people in their process as well. And I was also writing a children's book. And writing has always been a great outlet for me, and it really became solidified when I started working on the 12 steps. For me, the 12 steps, as I said earlier, was the starting off point. And journaling and writing became an outlet, and I started to just think about what I could share with young girls about life lessons. And so I wrote a children's book that was really geared towards young girls, but I needed an illustrator, and I cannot draw to save my life. So I started checking with universities and going online and looking at websites, looking to see what I could find. And it was actually a promise that I had made to my dad that I was going to do something with this book, because it had been kind of on the back burner for a while, and he asked me to please do something with it because it had a very special message. So I came across a web page of somebody actually on MySpace who was an artist, and he was in one of the art groups. And he just had so many nice things to say about himself, his family, his daughter, and a lot of his artwork and his drawings and things were on the page. And I said, I'm just going to say hi to this person. Not because I was looking for a relationship. I was absolutely not. This was the furthest thing from my mind. I just thought that he was what I was looking for in an illustrator. So we started to converse. He was out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was down in Miami Beach, Florida. So,
you got one of the A's wrong. He wasn't available. No.
He was not available. No. And but we just started talking about book-related things, and it just so happens that he had written 2 children's books as well, and he was looking for an editor. So, kind of in the right place at the right time, and God puts people together for His own purpose. And we started to interact about that, and he sent me his manuscript, and I sent him, mine, and he started working on the illustrations, and I started working on editing his book, and, a lot of conversations came up between there. And in the midst of all that, my father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And as I said earlier, my dad and I had some issues because of his drinking, and I had a lot more issues with my dad because of the way my mom had portrayed him to me. And one of the things I learned the most from this editing process with who's the man who's now my wonderful husband, is that one of the books that he had written was a book of love letters to his daughter. And that was the final break-open point that I needed for healing in my life. It was like God had sent that manuscript to me, not this man in Oklahoma. And I learned in reading all those pages and editing them that my father loved me in the same way that this man loved his daughter, and he wasn't able to communicate it to her the way that my father wasn't able to communicate it to me. And so the relationship just developed as a friendship, very nice friendship. And as I said, my father was diagnosed with cancer during this process, of pancreatic cancer. And we started talking, and he didn't run away from a person that seemed like they had problems, a father dying of cancer and all these things. He actually, after about 5 months of communicating, decided that he was going to come and visit, and that's how we actually met for the first time, almost 6 months after.